We are here at Brennan Theaters watching Valerian, City of a Thousand Planets. I was really excited to see this movie. It's made by Luc Besson. He directs it. He's also directed amazing movies like Fifth Element and Leon the Professional. I mean, super good stuff. So when I saw the visual spectacle that was the trailer for this movie, I really had some high hopes for it. Now that I've seen the movie, I can say that they didn't quite live up to those expectations. The movie did not live up to those expectations, but it did have some solid positive points and some solid negative points. I want to break it down for you guys so you can make a decision if this is something you want to see. The good points is, like I said in the trailer, the movie's just visually stunning. Every single scene of the movie, there's something amazing to see, something that you haven't seen before in a lot of moments, something that is new and exciting. But the story is super slow. Not only is it slow, it's really predictable. So every time like action would hit or a major scene would hit, I'm like, okay, here we go. Now let's get going. This is cool. And then it would slow way down again. And you're like, just get to the point. It's funny because it's a slow movie, but they don't spend enough time actually explaining what's going on. So this is what I like to call a high sci-fi movie. So it is so far detached from our reality now that everything is new and everything needs to be learned. So they explain that this, in the trailer as well as the movie, that this place is a place for all alien species to come together and share knowledge. Well, you're constantly being thrown new races and new species, you're constantly being thrown protocols and concepts, your new technology, and it's like you just kind of have to go with it. Like, wait, what does that do? Oh, they're not going to tell me. I guess I'm just going to have to go with it. And that happens a lot. There's a lot of different weapons. It almost felt like a Ratchet and Clank movie at one point where they kept pulling out weapons and did something else weird. Nothing's ever explained. Now, I'm glad they didn't really go too depth into explaining because the movie's already like 2 hours and 15 minutes long and drags. If they actually went into the explaining, it probably would have just lasted forever.
If you guys are fans of like Fifth Element or Luc Besson movies, you guys are probably excited for it. I'm a huge fan of Fifth Element, huge fan of sci-fi movies. The movie's kind of a letdown. The biggest problem for me was probably the pacing of the movie. It's just not tight. The acting is also very poor. It's got some great actors in it. If you've seen Clive Owen in like something like Children of Men, you know the guy can act, and it's just bad, really bad acting throughout the movie. Didn't like the love story at all. They didn't feel like there was any chemistry between the two main actors.
I do wish they had done the script a little differently. I wish they stopped the long, drawn-out scenes that weren't necessary and they just got to the point. Normally when movies have long, drawn-out scenes like that, it's to convey an emotional idea, to convey a feeling in the audience that you need to get emotionally on board with what's happening. I didn't feel any of these scenes were doing that. They were just kind of drawing out the inevitable. Sometimes so you can see the eye candy. Let's fly through the space station for 2 minutes, 3 minutes long. And sometimes just so you can have this weird, awkward moment between characters that really isn't necessary. Famous actors that have small parts where they're chewing the scenery that really caught me off guard. I'm not entirely sure how that person decided they were going to sign up for this movie for such a small part, or maybe some of it got cut, but it happened a couple times in the movie. I also have to say that I can't help but feel that there was a love story shoehorned into this movie. I understand that a lot of movies need it, or a lot of movies feel they need the love story. I just don't think it was necessary in this one. I understand that they tried to create a beginning, middle, and end to the love story aspect of it, but I wasn't invested at all. I wanted to see them as soldiers. I wanted to see them as coming to understand what was going on and solving the mystery. I really didn't need these little snippets inside where the love story would kind of develop and you're like, oh yeah, that's still going on. I forgot about that because that's not really what the movie's about. It just felt shoehorned in.
Aside from all the negative stuff, the movie is absolutely beautiful. The scenes in it, it's so colorful. Every scene just pops. So it's definitely a spectacle in that sense. The action scenes are sometimes they're cool, sometimes they're just stupid. It's not the greatest action sci-fi movie. The movie does have a cool message. It's definitely trying to like shoot for something, like a positive kind of ending. The only thing is it didn't need to be that long. They introduced so many like cool concepts that they never ever flesh out. I don't think they could flesh out because, I mean, look at the title. They're talking about 1,000 planets. Going forward, I would say they would cut out more of the movie, make it a bit tighter, make it shorter, pace it a bit better. That would have made a huge difference. The acting, again, I felt really let down. The jokes were really stupid. It wasn't great. So overall, I'll probably give the movie 5 out of 10. If you are fan of Fifth Element, I would still say definitely go watch it just because of that. I mean, I think it's based in a similar kind of universe because the original Fifth Element and this movie are both made based off, like, I think French sci-fi books, Valerian and Lucerian. So I think it's based off a similar kind of universe. So definitely go see it for that spectacle. But it's nowhere close to Fifth Element for me. But still worth a watch just for the special effects. Amazing.
Overall, this movie had some rocky aspects to it. It definitely wasn't what it could have been. I feel that part of the fault is on the script, because it seems like some of the scenes were just written in a really boring way. And then part of the fault, I think, was on the directing, because they didn't actually take those drawn-out scenes that the point had to be an emotional impact and really get the emotional impact out of the actors and the ambiance. So, positives, super eye candy, really neat concept of high sci-fi. And you know, the ending of the story was kind of interesting. I like what they did with it, even though it was a little predictable. The cons, the downsides, super slow. Bad script, draws out. You're not really given the time to learn what this world is about. Part of the thing that makes high sci-fi great is that you learn about the world. The world is a character. Think, on a lesser extent, outside of sci-fi, the John Wick movie. One of the characters in the John Wick movies is the world, this underworld they created and they live in and they operate in. And it's just as fascinating as any other character. That could have been this way in this movie, but it wasn't. They just kind of glaze over it. You just kind of have to assume whatever it is, and go with it. So I'm going to give this movie a 6 out of 10. I feel that it could have been a lot better, and that's really disappointing to me. That the base concept and the idea of the world, at least the pieces of it I understood, were really neat. There's this whole scene in there with this alternate reality thing where some of the things are in one reality and some are in another, and you have to use hardware to get between them. Super cool concept, but they're like wasted in this storyline. It was almost like they were just wasted side characters in a longer narrative where they could have been really, really coolly used. So I'm curious to know, what is your favorite sci-fi movie? There's lots to choose from, and I'm interested to see which one really keeps you coming back to watch it over and over again. Go ahead and leave that down in the comment section below. And of course, if you haven't already, to subscribe to this channel for more movie reviews every week. Plus, we have another video we posted earlier in the week, which is the Kickstarter video for our new Star Wars movie that's coming out. We'd love it if you'd take a moment to check out that video, see if it's something you'd be interested in pledging for. We're giving a lot of really awesome rewards. And once we're done with the movie, it'll be posted right here on the channel for everybody to enjoy. And remember, you heard it here at the source.